Oh wait, do I have wings? I don't. I don't want wings. I don't. I don't want that. Good. Okay, everybody. Hi. Um, Here I am, Ralph, with my queen, Peaceful G.
Hi
Okay,
everyone.
and we're here to review Scream 7, which we saw this weekend. I have to say, in my opinion, before we even start anything, this movie got a very low score on Rotten Tomatoes, like a 48%, I think, or
Yes.
somewhere in the 40s.
48. I saw it too.
There you go. I liked it. It was good. It was just another Scream movie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It kind of the same feeling as the other ones, right?
Yeah, the same thing. The same killing and the same thing.
Right. The
The
kills were
same
good.
story. Yes.
The kills were good. Some of them were quite gruesome, right? But what's it about? Let's jump right into that. Well, obviously we see Sydney come back. She's married to a cop. She has a daughter, a family, and everything, right? And other kids too, believe it
Yeah.
or not. And then she starts getting harassment calls from somebody who claims to be Stu, right? Remember that whole thing that's been going around for a while? Like, is Stu coming back? Is Stu? Did Stu survive the first movie? Yada yada yada. And that was a thing raging in the internet for quite some time. And then what happened was, I think people wanted to capitalize on that, the people that were making this movie, and
Right.
it worked. And there's gonna be some light spoilers in this before we continue, because I think it's hard to describe it without spoiling some stuff. So if you
Right.
haven't seen it yet, go watch the movie and then come back and check out this review. Well, did Stu come back in Scream 7? Yes and no.
All this thing about AI. AI. Let's just say AI.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, AI played a role, since AI is becoming a thing nowadays. They really implemented that angle into this story. And, you know how there's always more than one ghost face person?
Yeah.
There was quite a few. There was a good
Yeah.
handful of them, and actually in this one, like I think 3 or 4 even.
It was four.
Four,
Four.
four. Look at
Yeah.
that, and one of them was presumably Stu, right? And they were like, no, it's impossible. He's dead or whatever. Sydney was getting FaceTime calls from Stu saying he was gonna kill her daughter and all that kind of stuff. And then it started cascading into this crazy run race against time. The
Yes.
cops came. Her husband, who's a cop, came. They tried to take care of the issue.
Yeah.
And then out of the blue, we get I forgot Courtney Cox's character's name. You know it?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. The reporter.
The reporter. She shows up with the two of the kids from the last Scream movie, from Scream 6. They're back, and they wanted to help her out with the story.
Yes.
And but they also wanted to put an end to what was going on now to Sydney and her. And then we see a lot of mother-daughter dynamics. Obviously, because of what she went through,
Yeah.
Sydney wanted to protect her daughter from it, and
By
that,
not talking to her and telling her the whole story
yeah,
to the very end.
right.
So it came to
And
the
it
end.
was difficult because it's like we've seen this before in other movies where
Yeah.
the parent is trying to tell the kid, and the kid's like, oh, you're so annoying, whatever, and that was the kind of dynamic that was in this film. But then as the as the killers kept on doing their killing, and they did quite a bit of it, to her daughter. I forgot the name of the daughter. um her friends. I know I'm terrible. It's the thing with names.
You don't feel bad because I don't remember either.
Yeah, her boyfriend was suspect. You know how people start thinking in these
The
Scream movies
boyfriend.
that oh, could it be this one? It's that one. Could it be that one? Could
Usually
it be
the
that?
boyfriend, they say.
Right. They even said it in the movie,
Yeah.
right? The kills which were concentrated mostly on them, were quite bad. Were quite gruesome, and they had to do something to stop it and put an end to, and finally unmasking who the real culprits were, a la Scooby Doo. I swear, every Scream movie is like a Scooby Doo episode.
Scooby-Doo.
Let's find out who this really is. I appreciated it, but the movie for me was basically very cliched and very filled with tropes. It was a very tropey movie. Every trope that you could think about in a horror movie was in this way. And I have a feeling that was on purpose because that was the whole point of the original Scream, right?
Yeah.
What horror movies are about and what they're supposed to do with the killer and all that kind of stuff.
Don't run through there. Don't do that. Oh my God, why is she doing that? Why did she put that there?
Right.
Like, go over there. Why are you going that way? Why she fell?
And the audience was captivated by it. We were in a crowded movie theater, and it was fun.
Funny.
It was fun because people were screaming at the theater. Oh my God, why you did this? Why you put that door? That don't go in there,
Yeah. And we even were screaming too. No, don't do that. Oh, really?
I went, really?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Everybody laughed.
Everybody laughed. And then there was that lady behind us.
Yeah, talking in Spanish.
Yeah, she was like, mira que tú estás, like it was.
¿Qué tú estás haciendo?
No,
like por ahí, no por ahí.
Yeah. So it was a fun time. There was, the audience was laughing, was engaged, screaming when something bad happened or when anything crazy happened. They were like, oh. It was like owing everywhere. The movie was good for what it was. It was another Scream movie.
Yeah.
Even though it had a low score and some other people might like give it a low rating and saying, "Oh, this movie sucked. It was bad." It was no different than the other ones.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
It's a Scream movie. What do you want? The Secret of Life, right? So that's why I'm gonna give Scream 7 3 coffee cups. How many coffee cups do you give it?
I'll give it 3 too.
Yeah,
because it was fun to watch too.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah.
It wasn't boring.
No.
It was very cliche, like I said.
Straight to the point.
And it went straight to the point. There was no slow burn here. It started getting in real quick, real good.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, but the movie carried all the hallmarks of a Scream movie, of a slasher film per se, of a horror movie.
Of a person seeking revenge at the end.
Yeah. It's always that's always the end motive, right?
Yeah.
Revenge for something that somebody did back then and this and that. It's always something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's one particular kill that made you go, my God, really? Really? It happened in the bar.
Kind of yeah. Kind of shocking too.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought that it was good. It had its thing. If you want a horror movie that's filled with all the classic tropes and cliches that a horror movie does, like most Scream movies did, if not all of them, then Scream 7 is definitely for you. You're a Scream fan, go for it. I'm not particularly a big fan of the franchise, but I do appreciate it for what it was and how it's made its mark in cinema. And I really do... I had a good time with it.
There were even a kid dressed up like Ghostface.
Yeah, there were
whole outfit.
Yeah, there were little kids. I'm like, but they're little kids.
What about the popcorn? The popcorn.
They had these souvenir popcorn buckets in the theater.
They were cute.
For those of you who've been there and seen it in the AMC theaters, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like for those of you who like to collect those, make sure you pick up your Scream popcorn bucket because it's definitely a keeper.
It was so many people that the cups ran out.
Yeah, they ran out actually when we got there. They ran out of supply.
Yes.
If you're a Scream fan, if you're a horror movie slasher fan, you're gonna get the slasher. You're gonna get the kills. I think that the dynamics between the characters were kind of shallow, in my opinion. I didn't think it was that deep. But then again, it's the kind of movie that it is,
Yeah.
In the original Scream, there was more deepness and you cared more about those characters in the original film than you did in this one.
Right.
The only one you really cared about were the original characters, like Sydney and whoever Courtney Cox's name was. Those original. But I tell you this, like I told you earlier, Stu, he's in the movie, but he's not. Right? And it has a lot to do with AI. So if you want to know more about it, go for it. And here's another thing. He's not the only one.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. So if you stick around from the very beginning, from the to the end, obviously the end part, you'll see quite a few familiar faces turn up.
Yeah.
Did you see Scream 7? If you've already seen it, come back here and watch our review and talk to us. Comment on below your thoughts on Scream 7, the first true slasher film of 2026, as far as I know. There might be some more, and there will be more. There's more movies for me to catch and review, and there's definitely something that you might love. Like you like those kind of movies. They suspenseful. She's all about the suspense, right?
But not too much crazy.
Yeah. She, and we mentioned this before, but Scream was definitely a good to go. So let us know what you thought of the movie. And please consider subscribing and tap on the bell for future notifications for future horror and coffee content, so that this channel can continue to thrive, continue to grow in the algorithm, and make this channel has been around for over a decade now. So you know what? It's time to blow it up, don't you think? I think it's time to blow this channel up. Share it with everybody. Send it on your Facebook. Send it on your Instagram. Tie it to a pigeon's leg and send it across the country. Do whatever it is you need to do. Game of Thrones. We have a raven. Whatever. Just send it over and to other people so that they can know about having coffee and horror if you're into that. And stay tuned for future reviews and live streams here on Horror and Coffee, where we discuss all things horror and maybe some extra things too. I've been thinking about doing that, adding some extra stuff here. So tune in. You never know what you might get here. Until next time, this is Ralph Perez, Horror and Coffee.
The Peaceful G. Bye, everyone.
The Queen. And take care, guys.
Bye.
Until then.